Hello. Today we're going to be talking about the Cloverfield Paradox. This was a movie that was released on Netflix last week. The announcement was made during the Super Bowl, which caught a lot of people by surprise because they thought the third Cloverfield movie was actually going to be released in theaters and called something else. But it was released to Netflix, and so I watched it. And it is basically an average movie. I mean, the only thrill you get from watching it is trying to piece together how it fits with the other two movies, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's very average. There's some familiar faces in it, not known names, but you got like the guy that played Zemo in Captain America: Civil War. There's the guy from the IT crowd. He's pretty funny, but he's barely, he basically all of the characters that are in it. There's only one, the girl Hamilton. She's the main character. She's the only one that gets any kind of story. The other ones, you get nothing, like absolutely nothing. I'm surprised more people haven't pointed this out. But most people are kind of distracted by trying to piece together the Cloverfield mystery and how it combines with the other movies. But nobody's pointing out that these characters are really badly written. Like, there's nothing. There's people that, like, there's one guy called Monk who prays. That's it. That's all you know about him. There's a captain who's the captain. That's it. That's all you know about him. There's the funny guy who's the funny guy. That's it. That's all you know about him. There's a Russian scientist who's Russian. That's the guy that played Zemo in Captain America: Civil War. You don't know anything about him either. Like, he has lines. He has dialogue. He's involved in the story, but you know nothing about him. All you know is what he's saying, which doesn't have to do, which the things that he says have nothing to do with him. They have to do with the story. So he's propelling the story forward, but not saying anything about himself. I've never seen a movie like this where nobody gets any story except for one person. Like, it's very interesting, I guess. And I'm assuming that's a big reason why it went to Netflix and not in the theaters, because you do know nothing about these people. So when some of them turn bad, who cares? You don't know anything about them. When some of them die, again, who cares? You don't know anything about them. There's some parts where people turn evil, and it's really telegraphed, so you know what's going to happen. Basically, every single death is telegraphed so much in advance that nothing is a surprise. There are some weird parts to it as far as like the whole paradox goes. Like, there's a part where inanimate objects come to life, and that's never explained. Like, nothing is ever explained. It's just a part of, they go into space, in the space station, to fire off this guard particle thing to give energy to Earth, because Earth is running out of energy. So they basically imply that this experiment caused two dimensions to merge, at least temporarily, and released all these monsters and things that you see in the first two Cloverfield movies, and also in this movie. But none of it is explained. None of it is explained why, the first movie was monsters that apparently came from the sea. The second movie was aliens. And the third movie is monsters again, but also stuff that comes to life that's not supposed to come to life, and, alien worms and stuff like that. Like, it's convoluted. There's no story. There's no characters. That's the one good thing you can say about it. The acting is good. The special effects are good. It's directed well, but it's written very poorly. And it definitely should have went straight to a streaming service like Netflix and not in theaters. So it's hard because I know they're trying to make a franchise out of this, but it's hard to get excited about a franchise if this is the way they're going to go. Like, it seems like they just threw this in as an excuse to do whatever they want, and nothing's going to combine. Like, they could say each movie is from a totally different dimension, and nothing combines. You know, nothing interweaves. There's no similarities. There's nothing that joins them together. It's just they're all different dimensions. It's like watching, 3 episodes of Sliders, where it just takes place on different alternate Earths. So that's just an excuse to come up with whatever you want. And I hope that's not the direction they're going. I hope they actually explain what's going on, because otherwise they're going to lose their audience really fast. So that is the Cloverfield Paradox. It's on Netflix now. It's worth a watch just because it's a sci-fi thriller in space station, and there's some people getting killed, and there's a bit of not horror but thriller aspect to it. But if you're excited about how it interweaves with the rest of the Cloverfield movies, don't get very excited. Don't get your hopes up. And if you haven't seen it already, give it a pass, because if you're not excited enough to see it when it's announced on the Super Bowl, then you're probably not in a rush to see it, and you can probably give it a pass. But as far as a rating goes, on Netflix, I gave it 3 stars out of 5, and I'll stay with that and give it a 6 out of 10. So that's the Cloverfield Paradox, and thank you for watching.